I'm turned up, all the way turned up. I'm turned up, all the way turned up. I'm turned up, all the way turned up. Come to VIP, you see me getting turned up. I'm turned up, all the way turned up. I'm turned up, all the way turned up. I'm turned up, all the way turned up.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Beyond the Journal with Aaron and Lawrence. And unfortunately, Lawrence is not here to join us. He's not feeling well, so we are sending him super good, healthy vibes. Hopefully he will be back in the studio to join us for the next episode. But in the meantime, I have to introduce you to some really awesome guests that I'm super psyched to have in the studio with me tonight. Malachi Smith from Saint Raymond and his father, Elliot, are here to join us tonight to talk all things high school basketball, college recruiting, New York City, all of the good stuff that you guys tune in to hear. So one of the things that I want to shout out, Malachi, first of all, welcome.
What's up? Hi.
Thank you.
Thank
you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm really, really, really excited to have you here. I've been a fan of yours just from watching you on the circuit, and definitely New York versus New York. And also, what was the thing called?
Guard Nation, I think.
Guard Nation. Yes, I was there when you won that. But the one, the New York City Jam.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you were at that. And then there was something else that I remember seeing you at. But what I want to say is I spoke to CWill. So if you don't know, if you don't know Malachi, you need to follow him on Instagram. What's your IG?
Maliz _world with a Z.
Okay, so you got to follow him on IG because he has the blue check now. He is
definitely.
verified,
I'm
people.
certified.
So definitely check him out. But if you listen to the show, you know we've talked to CWill. CWill and Mally go way, way, way back. They have been. CWill said he thinks you guys have been working together since you were like 11 or 12.
Yeah, since like 7th grade, about that.
Right. Okay. So I asked CWill. I just spoke to him before the show started, and I said, you know what? Can you give me a quote about Mally? Tell me a little bit about Mally. Who is Mally? So this is what CWill says. Malachi Smith is a great all-around player. Oh, excuse me. That is not his quote. My bad. That is a quote, actually, that I'm going to get to. Hold on. This is what he said. When I think of Mally, I think of a leader, a believer, and a worker. Watching his growth and development on the court has been special, but watching his growth as a young man off the court is what brings me the most joy and satisfaction. I'm confident that our communities would be better if we have more young people with the mindset and work ethic of Malachi Smith. Salute to his amazing parents who have done a great job of raising this young king. My humble prayers for my son to grow up and be just like Mally. Can't wait to see what the future holds. One thing's for sure and two things for certain. The work will show. Don't believe me? Just follow the journey of Malachi Smith. Chills, tears. How amazing is that?
That was nice. That was nice.
Beautiful. And the crazy thing is, I said, tell me who Mally is. And I thought he was going to just talk about basketball. Yeah. And I was waiting to see what he said because I was like, tell me who Mally is, not just. So that's where I want to start with you after that quote. I want both of you to answer this too. I think that would be great. Who's Mally?
Sheesh. Definitely a humble kid. That's one. That's what I want people to nick me as. Definitely humble. On the court, I'm laid back, but off the court, I'm like fun to be around. I'm just a fun guy. I'm cool. I'm chill. That's what I think. I'm fun to be around. Nice.
How would you describe Mally?
Mally is a kid who was born into the game of basketball. So when I met his mom, I was already coaching. So she had to bring him with me to all the games. So he just was around it all the time. Some people may say I may have forced him. I don't think I forced him, but once he fell in love with it.
Right.
But Mally is Mally. He's a family man, like a family kid. Like for him at his age to not be ashamed to be around me and his mom is the part we love the best. Yeah. Which describes him right there is enough.
That's awesome.
Most kids at that age don't like hanging with their parents.
Right.
He'll give us a little time now.
Yeah, I get a little moment sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a little
bit. Well, it's been hard, right, with the whole virus thing too. So talk a little bit about that. How has it been going for you with training? And I know now that they've announced, so I see St. Ray's is back practicing. So tell me a little bit about how the last year has been for you and then, what's coming up for the high school season.
During quarantine, I was just in my house with me and my older brother. and we were just doing push-ups almost every day, maybe about 400, either 200 to 400, and I feel
Wow.
like that helped my game. Like, I don't think I would do that much stuff if it wasn't COVID or quarantine. So
Okay.
I guess it kind of helped, but, I couldn't play basketball or AAU, so I was very looking forward to the EYBL circuit,
Yeah.
get my name out of the country.
Yeah.
But, it was good, though. It was all right, though. It wasn't that bad for me.
Okay. And so now you're back at St. Ray's practices.
Yeah.
How's that going?
They've been good. We had Dallas Dillard, unsigned senior. We've been competing
Okay.
every practice, but they've been good, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And are parents allowed? You're not allowed in practices, right?
No,
Nah.
the only part I played during the pandemic was I was sneaking him out to the parks.
Outside in 40-degree weather.
Yeah, I would tell his mother, "We're going to the store. We'll be right back." And
You
because of the weather, we limited the workout to 30 minutes. But 30
Okay.
minutes,
40,
you can
40,
get 30,
40.
40 minutes. We'll put it on a timer.
He knows.
That's
40.
about 100, 200 shots, and we run upstairs, buy some groceries just to make it seem
In the
like.
cold, the 40-degree weather with a
That's-
coat on.
They locked the gate one time and we squeezed through the gate.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Hey,
Squeeze to the
listen,
gate.
if you got to make it work, right? You do what you got to do.
That's crazy.
But your workouts
Look
are quite
back.
intense because I got to see a little glimpse of it not too long ago with CWill
Yeah.
at the Guard Fam gym.
Oh, yeah.
And you were at the end of your workout and you do that thing
Yeah.
where you do the
Run
full
down.
sprints and shoot at each end of the court. I was like watching you and I was tired from watching you. I was like, what's happening here? And that was the end of your workout.
Yeah, Will was crazy. I'm like, he's crazy.
He's crazy. Yeah, but
even if we work out for 30 minutes or 2 hours, it's still gonna be like the work is still gonna be good. So it doesn't even matter how much long I work out.
okay, the one thing I have to shout this out because CWill made it a point to say this on the phone. He said, you have to say this. One, because I'm a huge fan of CWill and Mally, but also Dyckman is where my heart resides always. He wants everyone to know that Malachi was the youngest player ever to win the Dyckman 19U tournament with the program. He was only 16 when they won. He hadn't even played varsity high school ball yet, but he won in Dyckman. So high five, man. That's what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
to
And
acknowledge
Dyckman
that.
too. That's no joke.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's some serious.
That was in the park too with the hecklers and
That's what I'm
everybody
saying.
screaming.
Right. When you're in Dyckman, it's like, I mean, they will come for you. So you got to put on the show, right?
Yeah, it's not easy.
Right.
I'll add on top of that, I tell a lot of people, Malachi, because there was no summer ball this year, and
Right.
Malachi didn't turn 18 till November.
Okay.
So Malachi won Dyckman, and he won a NY versus NY chip playing
Yes.
with Dyckman all before the age of 17.
I was at that game. That was
Oh,
an
yeah, that
awesome
was-
game.
yeah, the
I loved that
championship-
game.
The Final Four was great. The semifinal game was crazy in Brooklyn.
Yes, that was
And,
such a great
Gersh,
game.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
Gersh was awesome. And the sunset was gorgeous that night. Just everything
yeah,
about
yeah, the
that was a
trip.
magical night. Seriously,
Yeah.
that Gersh night was amazing. But the championship was a lot of fun at
Yeah.
Rucker. It was hot that day.
Yeah, that was
but,
a close game.
But it was close. But
Yeah.
that was some really good basketball.
No.
I was into that.
Yeah,
that
that was definitely good.
That was fun. Okay, so let's talk about. I want to talk a little bit about your come up. So talk to me about your AAU experience and how important you think AAU ball has been to your basketball career.
When I was younger, about 5 years old, 6 years old, I played with Gauchos all my life, all the way up till this year.
Okay.
And then I made the move to PSA to play URBL, but it got canceled.
Right.
But yeah, Gauchos that I got a good gym. I live
Great
15 minutes away, so me and my dad always used to be in there.
Nice.
So it definitely helped with my development too. But this year I had to leave, even though COVID messed it up. But I still played the game of Gauchos this year with the youngins, so
Okay.
it was good.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
How important do you think AAU has been for his career? Do you think so? For parents who are listening, right? Lawrence and I talk about this a lot, and I know stars like Kobe was never a huge fan of AAU. I know the game has changed a lot. The scene has changed a lot. We'll get to that in a minute, but how important do you think it is for kids today to be playing AAU? Do you think it's an absolute must?
It's a must, but the most important part that people don't struggle understanding is it's all about timing.
Okay.
So my best close friend Casey Williams, who coached Gauchos when they were EYBL.
Okay.
Right? He took a break from coaching, and he was offered the job at 8th grade to take over. Like, he's such a great coach, but he's very tense. I remember when I first met him, I used to be like, my son could never play for him. He's crazy. And then me and him develop a good relationship. So it's not who you play for, it's who's coaching your son. So it was perfect timing. Now, mind you, me and this guy are like the best of friends. And me and my wife, on several occasions, we're going to jump him. Because he's very, like, he's coached, like, the Javon Thomas's Kansas State. He's coached Omar Calhoun, UConn. He's coached the Corey Fishers of the world. So he's great with point guards. So what I didn't know that he was doing was he was breaking Mally down to build him back up to get to that level. But it almost interfered with our friendship because, like I said, it was several times my wife was like, I'm going to kill him. I'm like, no, and let me kill him. But it's important because it depends. You have to be able to deal. It's who's coaching your child. Right. So
I think that's a really important point that you bring up that I feel like now, and it's too bad Lawrence isn't here because he could speak to this as well. But, you know, our kids are 11, 12, and younger. And I see a lot of parents act like they know better than the coach, or they have things to say while the coach is coaching during the game. So I think that's really valuable to point out. Like, you have to find someone that you trust and you trust their process with your child.
No, absolutely. Because I would say AAU right now is 50-50. There's 50% of the guys on the circuit can coach, and the other 50% are coaching because they have the best player on the team is their kid. Like coming from whether it be the parent or the handler. Right. So you have to pick your poison. If you're going to play with the coach that has the good kid, be ready to be second and third fiddle and not be the main focus, which means, okay, you can play that weekend, but he's only going to work his kid out that week. Right. Not your kid. A coach is going to be like, we finished this weekend, we're practicing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about since you've been working with CWill for so long, right? So you develop, you've trained with him outside of St. Ray's. He also coaches at St. Ray's. So how do you form a partnership or become teammates with a coach that you can trust, right? To guide your son, that you know he's getting enough play time, you're comfortable about what's happening. It may not, even through the bumps. You know what I mean? Like, how do you, what's your advice to parents looking for that, or what has your experience been with CWill?
Well, I've been around the game, fortunately for me, so I knew what CWill was about. Anybody who's coached my son, I knew what they were about. They didn't have to explain themselves to me. So if he asked, I'm like, yeah, my son can play for you. So I tell parents all the time, do a background check on that coach the way you would do if you owned the business and did a background on an employee. Okay. Just don't assume, that because he won 2 tournaments that he's still the best for your kid.
Or just because he says on Instagram that he's amazing.
Doesn't
mean he's amazing.
Story, the Instagram thing.
Right. That's we could talk about that for sure. Okay, so we think AAU ball is really important.
No, it's necessary. It's necessary.
Okay, and so it's a complement though to high school. So high school ball comes first. Or AAU comes first?
I would say AAU.
Really? Because of the exposure?
Yeah. On the Under Armour circuit, it was about 25 coaches on the sideline as a sophomore, so that was crazy. But
wow.
So I think that's more important. But high school basketball is still relevant, though.
Okay.
It goes hand in hand.
Okay.
Because I feel like it goes hand in hand. At St. Ray's gives him the stage so these AAU teams can watch him play, right? So you got all the EYBL teams, you got the Under Armour teams, you got the Adidas teams, and they're there like they're college coaches.
Right.
If he can hang, then those teams are going to want him. Then that AAU teams provides the stage for the 25, 30 coaches. So to me, it goes hand in hand, right? And we're talking 2 months out the year with AAU, but you still play as many games as you play more games than the high school team.
Right.
But then come September, that's because they do summer leagues with the high school teams.
Right.
You're talking 6-7 months that you're with that high school team. So it's hand in hand.
Okay.
But,
okay. So very important for parents who are listening, who are planning on this, definitely do your research about your coaches and your AAU teams. So, Mally, talk to me about what is important to you on the court when, as in terms of like your mentality. How do you show up to practices and workouts? What keeps you motivated? What keeps you locked in to get to the level that you've gotten to at this point?
Honestly, if you just love basketball, you wouldn't mind going to practice or mind playing to that good player on the other team or stuff like that. So I love basketball. So whoever's on the other team, I'm gonna play hard regardless. And I got that from my father. So he been on me that for like a while. So I just love basketball, and that just pushes me. It just gets my head off my mind off everything else.
Okay.
So it definitely helps.
So the love is really important, but it also is kind of an escape for you.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay, so how often do you work out?
Probably like 5 to 6 days a week.
And how long are your workouts?
It depends. One day I might go for 40 minutes, or one day I might go on weekends I might go for 2 hours to 3 hours.
Okay.
Weekdays I might go for an hour. It just depends.
Okay. And you never have problems getting him to workouts?
No, that's the
Never,
that's the
never,
good
never.
part.
Ever.
That's the good part. For the last 2-3 years, it's been him by himself. Like I just
Right.
remember one summer. This is about maybe two summers ago. Somebody called me at work about 7:30, and they said, "Yo, I just see Malachi on 145th Street in Tri-State Park. Him and little Kyle. Like, is everything okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, they do the pull-up workout, and then Gauchos opens at 8. They cross the bridge to go and work out in there." So
Yeah, me and
that's
Kyle
when
was
I was
crazy.
like, that was a proud dad moment. I was like, "Yo, he gets it." So they would go do that, go home, get something to eat, work out in the afternoon. Y'all would go to Watley, right?
Yeah.
And then
Wadley. And
Come
Harlem.
home, whatever, and then in the evening, if they didn't have a game in that early that evening, then they go probably have practice with Gauchos and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that's when I was like, wow, like I don't have to be there.
Right.
So that was crucial, because if at the high school level I've still got to push them or wake them up, then it's a concern.
Yeah.
Like,
Definitely
like
at
I
that
shouldn't
point.
have to. Yeah, at that point. You know.
So that's amazing. So where do you think your love of basketball came from? Like who did you look up to? What inspired you, as you were growing up to really fall in love with the game? Is there a certain player, certain team?
I got multiple players. One person I look up is my brother, Scoochie.
Right.
He already graduated from Dan.
Right.
And we always talk, and I just seen him from high school through college, then to the G League, then overseas. So that just made me feel like if he could do it, I could do it. Not bringing him down, but I'm just saying like I want to be.
No, it motivated you.
I want to do that.
That's awesome. Who else do you look up to?
Kemba, just because he's from the Bronx.
Yeah.
I try to put my game just like him. He played with Gauchos too.
Yeah.
LeBron, I know that's the easy one.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are like my 3 people who really made me fall in love with the game.
Are you a Kobe fan?
I'm not really a Kobe fan that much. I'm more of a LeBron fan.
LeBron. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the younger generation.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that. Who would you say, besides CWill, we're going to take him out of the equation right now, who has been your favorite coach to play for?
Casey Williams, my Gauchos coach from 8th grade up till 11th. In 8th grade, I didn't like how he coached in 8th grade because he was very intense. One day in nationals, we got up to a slow start in Orlando, and he called timeout. He pushed me. I was like, nah, I was about to start crying. Like I don't want to play no more. So but that really woke me up though. But yeah, he's my favorite coach.
So talk more about that. So you were crying, you were upset. What, you were embarrassed? You felt embarrassed? You didn't feel good enough?
Nah, it's not that I was embarrassed. It's just like you're my favorite coach and you hit me. That's great. Nah, he didn't hit me. He pushed me.
Right.
He was holding him accountable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was part of the process. Like he said, break him down, build him up. Like,
got it.
Yeah, he's not even like a coach. He's more like my uncle. So I was like, oh, that's crazy. Now I got to wake up. And then after that, it was a good game, even though we lost that game in the chip. But it was a good game, though. It was a good game.
Yeah. Okay, good. So do you have any, and I'm into like mantras and affirmations and meditation stuff. Are there any quotes or anything that like someone you look up to, or even LeBron, that he said that you kind of like keep in the back of your head that motivates you?
Not really a quote, but it's like a saying that like when I don't work out, that means someone else is working out. So when I sleep, I feel like, nah, when I wake up, I gotta do something, do some push-ups, go to the gym, like just do something to keep my body active.
Okay.
And that just been in my head for a while. So I think that helped me just like with my work ethic.
So what happens if you're going through a slump? Like you're not feeling great, you're not hitting your shots, your workouts are tough, like you just don't feel like you're in your groove. How do you handle that? How do you come back from that?
I know I'm a good shooter, so I know like I just got to keep shooting. And my dad helped me with that.
Okay.
Because I struggled. Well, I didn't really struggle in 8th grade. My shot, it was a bit short.
Okay.
And my dad just kept helping me with it in the gym every day. Uncle Casey in the gym every day. So it definitely helped. Just got to keep pushing through, yeah.
Reps. Okay. And how much do you think? So there's obviously, all the athletes will talk about all the greats. There's like a mental process, and then there's that physical process.
Yeah.
How do you stay mentally fit when you're dealing with this? Because listen, you play for a top team in the city. You have a lot of eyes on you. Now you got that check on IG. People are checking you out, watching you, what you're doing. And this is really just the beginning. And I know New York City is a big scene and a big platform. But you're stepping into D1 spotlight, right? Like we're talking prime time now. Yeah. So how are you? And I've seen you work out. And the one great thing, and shout out to a Gauchos player that is also former KU, Russell Robinson, and he won the national championship. He's been on the show. Hey, Russell, how you doing? He definitely has talked about that with us on the show here. New York City workouts. He said there's Bill Self has this famous boot camp, right? Preseason. And people are like, they have trash cans lining the gym because the guys are like, throwing up because he runs them so hard. And I asked Russell about that, and I said, how did you feel? And he goes, I'm from New York. What are you talking about? Like, he goes, I work out that hard every day. That didn't even faze me. And I love to hear that. That was great. So, I feel like, and I've seen you work out, so I know you're working out hard. So, but you're getting ready to step up to the next level. So what are you doing in preparation for that right now, like mentally? And I know it's difficult right now because of the season, because of COVID and everything else. But what are you doing to prepare? And Dad, what are you and your wife and your family how are you helping him in this process?
When I was 16 and I played Dyckman, I played 19 and under. So CWill and my family, they threw me in the fire already. So I had to be prepared. Okay. But me and my family go by this quote: "The work will show." So if I'm not working out, it's gonna show in the game. It's gonna show. The results gonna come. So that's why I go hard in the gym all the time.
Well, and I guess like we said before, if you can handle the hecklers at Dyckman, I feel like you can handle the crowd at Dayton.
Right.
And how are you guys supporting him at home and then throughout?
We're very fortunate, right? Malachi's able to go to St. Ray's. He works out with CWill, but then his coach Casey Williams, during the summer, he had a gym, and we were probably like the few people in New York City with a gym. Yeah. So what happened was the college kids were home. So now Malachi's in the gym, and CWill was there a few times as well. So now we were in there with Alan Griffin at Syracuse, Jose Perez at Marquette, Ish at Wake Forest, Hassan Diarra, Isaiah Whitehead came one time, Kadeem Carrington, Desi Rodriguez. Wow. And so, Deshaun Davis had just committed Oregon State. So now
I love
the level got different for him. So it's like now he got a chance to feel what Division I basketball is going to. So he didn't have EYBL, but you could say he had an EYBL season because these were like 4 or 5 days a week we were doing.
You had
for like
a
2 months
secret
straight.
D1 league going on.
So it was
giving me no passes either.
That was it's like kind of why we wish, I said to him, give those guys a call. You just got MVP in the Gauchos Round Ball tournament. But
Yeah, so that I was gonna ask. So
that
did
work
you?
showed from like the summer from working with those type of guys. Like we've always tried to stay ahead of the game, which was, I can tell people my motto is this: anybody can work out, but not everybody works on their game. Right. So I can send you to the gym, and you can do the same. But are you working on your game?
Right.
And sometimes working on your game consists of playing against certain guys that, okay, I can't get around him, so now I have to learn how to get crafty, which, that's what's going to happen in college. Like, you're going to have to figure it out, but it's...
So did you all know each other, or were you connected through you just knew each other from being in the city and playing AAU and street ball and all of that?
Yeah, the older guys always show me love. Hassan, Jose, Ish, they always show me love on Instagram. We always talking.
I love that.
But we go back to, like, we've always had a tradition, Thanksgiving Day, when the kids come home, we've always had workouts, and that's when college kids are home. Christmas Eve, we work out. And so, like, a lot of college, so, like, this goes back to, like, the Daniel Dingle days, Saint Raymond's, Emmy Andujar, Manhattan. So he's been, and so we've just always made it a tradition to, and, but they've worked out, and then luckily for him, they've always been very receptive. Older guys have always let him work with him.
Right.
So I used to tell him, just don't mess the workout up, man. Just try to hang in there.
The pressure's on. The workout's like more pressure than anything else.
Push him, yeah. So, it was fortunate. Like, sometimes it's just who you're around, like I always say, is very important.
Okay, so, Mally, talk to me about the workout then, because now you're playing with guys who took it to the next level, which is where you're headed. You said they didn't take it easy on you in the gym. So tell me the difference that you see. Like, does that, I'm assuming that gives you a lot of confidence when you can work out with them and then go back to high school to St. Ray's to play. You must feel quite confident stepping on the court, like you feel prepared, right? But what's the difference in the two games that you see the most that stands out?
When we used to work out with like the open runs, I used to have Rams guarding me. He's strong, quick. He loved to play defense.
I love his D.
He loved to talk, all of that. So I wasn't struggling, but we was going at it. So that helped me. I think in practice now in the Rumble, it definitely helped my game. It's not easier, but I could take their bump because they're still in high school instead of Rams because he's in college. He's like 2 or 3 years older than me, so it was a bit harder, but it was good though. He always pushing me.
Yeah.
Rams loves Malachi, but you would never tell on that court.
Yeah.
No,
he always
you would be like, yo, he must not like him. No, he love him, but he don't play with him. Like,
but I love that. That's great.
Absolutely. That's why you gotta
check
love
that.
him.
You check the love at the door.
That's what makes the workout.
Yeah.
No,
that's great. I'm also a huge fan of Rams. I have to say, I loved watching him play. I loved watching him play at Dyckman last summer, the summer before, pre-COVID. I loved watching him play. He is just fearless.
He's played a major, and I have to say this, he's played a major part in Malachi's development because he had a confidence in Mally that not many people did. It got to the point where he was like, when somebody would ask him to play in something, he would say, if you want me, Mally has to play too. So when they asked him to play in NY versus NY, he's like, I'm playing with whoever Mally's playing with. Like, and that gave Mally that confidence. Like, and it made people look at Mally a little different. Like, what is it? And then so when they started playing together, they saw like, oh, okay, like. So I always have to shout him out, as a big brother mentor. Like,
I definitely got my screaming from him. Because before I started playing, I was not really talking or vocal on the court.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then when I started playing with him, I just started screaming, talking, and that's everything.
Yeah, I saw him play at Dyckman, and there were some NBA guys there that night that he played, and he does not back down.
No,
and his mouth is going. I mean, they got into it. They got into a fight.
Like, he's a competitor.
But I love that drive and that like fierce spirit that he has on the court. I loved watching him play at Dyckman.
Yeah.
I loved it when he was there. So, but I had I watched him play, I watched you play, whatever, but I had no idea that you guys were that tight.
We all close.
That's really awesome. That's really cool. I love to see people show love like that. And that's what I feel like, New York City is missing a lot of. And maybe it's just because Instagram has caused so much nonsense and drama. But
Right.
I love to see the older guys show the love to the younger guys,
That's how
and
it's supposed to be.
because we got to rep New York City.
Nah.
You know, we got to come together and be a community. So I love to see that, and I loved it. And I had no idea, so I love that because I love Rams too.
That's
so
why I
that's
was like, Malachi, I know you. Sometimes like CWill will have the little kids, and me and Coach Casey Williams will have the little kids in the gym. I'm like, I know you're not gonna. I make him do drills.
I
the
saw
6, 7
I saw that
year
on
olds.
your Instagram this
Right.
week.
So I'm like, and he loves it. But luckily, because I'm like, I know you're not gonna turn your nose up at me telling you work with that kid for 10, 15 minutes. He's like, no, let's do it. So
yeah,
I'm like, okay.
I saw you with the little
You
one.
have to pay
the
that.
That
little.
was
It's confidence. It gives a kid confidence.
absolutely, and
Like-
that's really that's when you're younger like that. That's like the whole part of the game because if you don't have the confidence to get out there,
No, absolutely.
you hesitate. You know, it's not fun. So now you're a bit of a trash talker. Rams
a little
helped
bit,
you with
yeah.
that.
Yeah, he definitely helped me with that. I got it from him.
Okay.
I could definitely say that.
Okay, so you were
Sometimes,
quiet
sometimes.
before.
Yeah, I wasn't quiet, but I was definitely not talking. Yeah, I was kind of quiet.
I'll tell you a quick funny story.
Yeah, please do.
It was the year we won Dyckman, right? Shout out to Will Kelly, who's by the river.
Yeah,
So we're playing. Everybody's noticing every game. Malachi's about to get into a fight. So I'm getting a little hostile. Like, yo, we're not doing this. They're trying to bully him. So after the game, when Will Kelly put me to the side, and he said, "Oh, I'm gonna tell you something. Don't get mad." I'm like, "What?" He said, "Yo, man, Malachi talks a lot of smack, man." He said, "You're not really watching him." He said, "You gotta watch him. He talks a lot, like."
Nice.
And
Yeah, I
so
do.
I'm like, "That's why." He
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, you keep getting mad in the stands, like, yo, we not doing." He's like, "Yo, he talks a lot. He talks a lot." I was like, "For real?" He was like, "Yeah, but he kind of sneaky with it. Like, he's real sneaky." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
definitely
okay,
sneaky
okay."
with it.
So that
Nah,
was
yeah.
that was
Wait,
funny.
so doesn't that get you like riled up, or do you,
No,
you
no.
think it's funny that you're getting everybody else riled up?
Nah, it's not funny, but it kind of builds my energy up because
Got
then
it.
I'm in the other person's heads.
Got
so
it.
if then their confidence come down and mess up the game, then I just talk more. So I feel
Because
like
you see the results.
yeah. It definitely helped though. Man, Dyckman, it was just for fun. You know, sometimes you can get a little push into it, a little, but not nothing crazy though.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah. Well, some nights.
Some nights,
It
some
depends
nights.
who's there. You know,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
nights
yeah,
J.R.
yeah,
Smith
yeah.
was on the sideline. They got a little
Oh, yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah,
You know, but whatever. But no, but and Dominican Power, there could always
yeah.
they could get crazy.
It's
with
part of
them.
the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
it's
it
part
is,
of the
and
game.
that's kind of New York City, right? That's the vibe. Like you got to play tough, and you got to talk, and you got to be able to handle it. Otherwise, you shouldn't be there, really. Okay, so let's talk about. It's kind of crazy because now the whole NCAA is changing and everything. So I want to talk a little bit about the recruiting process, one from the student athlete, but then also the parents and how you walk through that. So as I mentioned before, Russell has been on the show, and we talked about his transition from the Bronx, going from New York City to the middle of Kansas. And I'm going to say Dayton, Ohio is not that much different from going to the middle of Kansas. It's not like,
Yeah,
it's
it's not a
not
big
that,
city.
it's not New
Yeah.
York City. So you're going to transition. And like you mentioned before, you like to spend time with mom and dad. You're not
Yeah,
embarrassed of that. You love your family. You're always showing love. I see that on the gram. So it's going to be quite a transition for you. Now, I do want to shout out, you mentioned your brother before. I know that your brother played for Dayton.
Yeah.
So, and I also read the article, and that was the quote that I started to read before, Coach Lopez, from the article that I read. So I see you say that your brother's decision of playing in Dayton really didn't affect you. Yes, you had been out there and you had seen the facilities and stuff, but that really didn't have an impact. So talk to me about the recruiting process, the other schools that you were interested in, and how you kind of landed at Dayton.
Before COVID, I probably had a lot of mid majors and low majors, and I didn't get down on myself with that. Cause I felt like I was gonna do good on EYBL.
Okay.
But then when COVID hit and there was no EYBL, I went to PSA, and Munch Williams, he helped me with a lot of my recruitment, and Coach Lopez.
it.
And that's when I really got a lot of phone calls,
Okay.
a lot of interviews and stuff like that. Coaches text me all the time. And that's when I got basically almost all of my high majors.
Okay.
Yeah. But then Dayton, they already offered me since like sophomore year. So they
Oh,
was
yeah?
already always in the back of my head, talk to me, I already have a good relationship with the assistant coach, with the head coach.
Okay.
So that they was just number one mainly through the whole time.
Okay.
And then
Are they the same coaches as when your brother was
no,
there?
it's a new coach.
Okay. Okay.
Then like when I got to like August, I was like, me and my dad told me, you got to make a decision soon. Not rushing me, though. Just let's think about it.
Right.
And it was hard because I had a lot of good schools. I had Oklahoma State, Rutgers, Georgetown. So I was overwhelmed a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't know where to go. But then.
He's a little stressed out. I was like.
Yeah, it's a big choice.
No,
it
yeah,
really
it
is a
definitely
big choice, and you have a lot of great options. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's a great place to be in.
Yeah.
Good stress to have,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it was a good stress.
So you're stressed out. You have all these options. How do you land with Dayton?
I had to sit down with me and my mom and my dad, and we was just talking about the schools. I probably had about 12 to 15 probably, and we cut it down to 3.
Okay. What were your top 3?
Georgetown, Dayton, and Rutgers.
Okay.
And it just every day for like 2 weeks, my dad told me, if you were to come here right now, where would you go? Every day it would change. I was like, every day, literally every day. One day it would be Rutgers, next day Dayton, next day Georgetown. Because I know I had Patrick Ewing calling me. My mom was so hyped. She would want to.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, that was one day we went. Coach Casey Williams, his school had a big TV in there, and we sat there and watched like every school on game. Like just watch. We wound up working out, but we was like just watching, like trying to like, like
get
what
the
we
vibe
may see,
of-
something we like or don't like.
Right.
It was is amazing.
Nah,
Yeah, that's really cool. So what were like what were the top factors that played into your choice? Because, was it playtime? Was it the coach? Was it the facility? I mean, I know, and Russell had mentioned in his interview too, like when you get there, and I know it's a little bit different because of COVID, but you get this feeling like you just kind of know that this is the place where you're meant to be. Yeah. And so everything else kind of fades away, but there are reasons why it feels like home. So why did Dayton feel like home to you?
Really the playtime, it was mainly the playtime and the development. Their development system is very good. They have Scoochie and they had pros from before, and they just had Obi Top and just go a lottery. So that definitely helped. But Dayton always been like, if I choose a different school, I felt like I would have made a mistake and not go to Dayton. They would have been in the back of my head like, I gotta go to, like, I should have went to Dayton. That's when I knew that was the school. Okay. That was the school for me.
That's great. Yeah, and that's right. I forgot about Obi Toppin.
Yeah,
that's
Obi,
right.
Yeah.
He was so much fun to watch play at Dayton. He was great.
Absolutely.
And so also Kobe Brea is out there now. So have you guys played against each other in New York?
Yeah, we played against each other in Scanlon. And we played with each other since like 8th
right, because
grade.
I know he has played at Dyckman too.
Yeah. But we played each other with Gauchos on the circuit.
Okay.
Yeah, they played together the 16th.
So we
right?
already,
Oh,
we already
nice.
had a good relationship. So he was texting me that, yo, bro, come on, you gotta come here. And he showed me some
Even
of
the
that
dad,
stuff there.
because we was going on AAU trips together. We developed a good relationship. And
nice.
So he was telling Mally, I'm telling you. So yeah.
That's so great.
He fun to be around. We like to play with each other. So he definitely helped too.
That helps, yeah. That's really nice too, because you are so far away from home, but then you have
some New York.
Exactly, you have a little New York with you. Because
And Coach Greer is from New York.
Okay, nice.
He's from New York.
So that's perfect. So from your perspective, Dad, how did this whole process go down for you, and what was important?
The one thing I learned from the process, and I'll tell parents this, anybody who tells you, you know how people, the quote be like, he's trying to live through his child. Anybody who tells you they're not is lying.
Okay.
Because it was, you sit there, right? And we get a Zoom call, and Patrick Ewing's there. And me and my wife go, yo, this is crazy. Like, and he's talking to us. You think he's recruiting us.
Yeah.
And we're excited. So that's the thing about it. You get off the phone with you, and you're like,
You're hyped.
yo, we going there. That's it, man. No more. But then
That's
2
right.
hours later, the coach from Oklahoma State calls.
Right.
Yo, I'm from Brooklyn. I heard your wife's from Brooklyn. And we're like, nah, we going there. Like, so we had fun with it. That's why I say anybody who tells you that you don't have to live through your kid like on the court, but you can enjoy it with him.
Right, enjoy the process.
I've enjoyed this process with him. We've had our ups and downs, right? When he's down, I'm down. When he's up, I'm up. You know. So, but the best part of it, as far as like me wanting him to go to Dayton, and I was cool with him going to Dayton, was because one thing about Coach Grant that me and my wife got, which was the most important part with talking to him, was we know that after basketball, Malachi's going to be fine. He showed us that.
Got it.
He without telling us. So one of his sessions when talking to us was marketing, because you can now get paid, right?
Yeah.
So,
we're going to talk about that
right.
in a second.
So he was teaching us, like, this is how I want to help market Mali, and we're like, wow, during basketball?
Okay, so
like,
this is
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about this. So Mali, remember you posted on your story. I have a screenshot of it here.
Yeah,
That
I know.
post game official.
Yeah,
And and they like it shows how many followers you have on Instagram, on Twitter, and your value, your engagement percentage. And when I saw this in Mali's story, I was like, hold up, wait a second.
Yeah,
I was like,
seen
we
that.
have to
I was
talk
like-
about this. So this is the one exciting thing. Like I couldn't wait to talk to you guys about
Right.
because this changes everything. This changes the recruiting process because you just gave us a little hint to that. But this also changes where you're going, right? Like that it factors in. So now a coach is educating you about, hey, this is how I plan to market Mali. So now coaches have to think totally different too as they're recruiting. So
absolutely.
what is your take on all of this, and are you looking forward to this? How does this play into your game plan?
It the one thing I'm trying to explain to Malachi, it's still going to be work, right? So like Coach
Yes.
Grant explained to us, he said, when the season's over, you can now do the Malachi Smith camp, the Maliz World camp, and you can charge something you can do. Like he was like, if this rule had came, like Scoochie's such a big deal over there. He was
Right.
like, if these rules applied when he was here, he would have made a lot of money because we would have did the Scoochie Smith camp or like so. Me and my wife, we've copyrighted the Maliz World logo and the name because I told Malachi, you can now walk in stores and go, can I sell my shirts in here?
Yeah.
And they'll say, yeah. And I think it's all work. And
Wow.
I told Malachi, the way I'm learning the business, and I could be wrong, but one of the things I was told, I'm like, Malachi, a car dealership might pay you just to greet people for 2 hours to come in. Hey, how you? So everybody thinks getting paid means you're gonna get a stipend, a check. You already get that.
No, you have to work.
In college, you already get a stipend, like a check
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
like,
you do,
But
yes.
I'm talking about this car dealership might come to you and be like, Malachi, I'm gonna give you this much for 2 hours just to greet the people and say hello.
Right. Or do a commercial.
So you still have to work. That's
Right.
that's work for 2-3 hours. You're still working, and then you got to run to this store. They might say, sit here and sign T-shirts for an hour. I said, it's still work.
Yeah.
You're still working, but you can get paid for it.
Right. And you can actually, I was just reading an article about some of the top grossing athletes this year, and there's a girl, she plays volleyball, and I think she made over $1 million.
Yeah, that's great. I've
From-
seen a lot of people on the app.
It's a
pay them
shame.
a lot of money.
Crazy.
What's the guy, the field goal kicker, who they told him he had to get rid of his YouTube because he has so many followers that he started
Really?
getting paid for it. He's a field goal kicker for a college team, and they made him like
Wow.
delete the page, and I'm like, wow, now
Yeah,
that'd
so
have been
the
legit for him to
rules,
do it.
I mean, the pressure has been on for so long for these
Yeah.
athletes, and the NCAA really had no choice, I feel like, at this point, because there was going to be like something bad is going to happen if they don't kind of, cave a little bit. But this changes everything, right? Because now, from the player's perspective, you have to stay focused on your game. You have to be in practice. You're a student. You have to be in class. You have to get good grades, right? But now, that wasn't enough to fill your schedule. Now you have these opportunities to be an influencer on Instagram because people are checking out your page. You can, like you said, go to a car dealership or the local pizza joint or whatever may reach out to you. And you can really become a hometown celebrity in Dayton, Ohio. And you have such a huge following in New York City, too. So you have an opportunity. So dad and mom, that really you become business managers.
No, absolutely.
I mean, you do anyway when you're going through this whole recruiting process,
Yeah.
but now you're taking it up to another level where we're talking money.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, one thing about his mother, she by any means she gonna get it, and she's like,
Yeah.
if we gotta walk around that parking lot, sell these T-shirts before the game, that's what we gonna do. I'm like, yeah, that's what we gonna do. And she's like,
I like her
and
already.
you know, with her, she's a mom. To her, it's not about the money; it's about her baby.
That's
Buy
right.
my baby shirts, and and that's what she's worried about.
Listen,
like.
that's going to sell T-shirts.
So that's
I'll tell you that. That's
but,
good. I love it. Okay, so this is all like incredibly exciting for you. I'm super, super excited for you. But when I saw that, people go check out postgame.official on IG, and you're going to see Mali's on there now, but you're going to see all of these different athletes and what they're worth.
Athletes for volleyball, golf, everything.
It's crazy. So I am so anxious to see how this plays out, especially once the virus, like.
But it's work.
It is work.
We like it comes in the form of work, which is what we try to install in him. Like, don't think you could sleep all day and get a check. That's not how real life is.
Right.
So the fact that it comes in the form of work, it creates good habits.
And also, I
what
think
we're
it
about.
opens some doors, because my next question to you, Mali, is, so, obviously I'm assuming the goal is basketball in any form. I mean, NBA, I'm sure, is always, ideal. But your brother, like you said, played G League overseas. So you see there's lots of opportunity within basketball. I'm assuming that's your goal, right? Basketball?
That's the main goal, yeah.
Okay, so that's plan A.
Yeah.
So Lawrence and I always like to ask, what's plan B? Like, what happens if you get injured? What happens if something happens and you can't play basketball? What's plan B?
Yeah, right now I've been thinking about my majors a lot. So
Okay.
I've been thinking about doing physical therapy.
Okay.
Trying to be like a doctor who help, not a doctor, a person who help with injuries
Okay.
and recovery and stuff like that. And I was thinking about being a coach for a little bit, but I don't really know yet. I'm not really certain on that yet, my plan B yet. But right now, it would probably be being the physical therapist.
Okay. And you would want to stay close to the game with physical
definitely.
therapy?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's one of the reasons why.
Okay.
Get a job.
Yeah.
We've never, like, the word pro it doesn't never really come up, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Like, I'm probably my wife has graduated. She has her master's. My oldest son, Elliot, has graduated from college. So they've paved the way for him. So our goal in our household is you have to go to college.
Okay.
Like, so unfortunately for him, he's doing it in a fun way, which was, basketball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, but he knew he had to, because he's seen his mother do it. He's seen his brother do it. So now he's doing it. So we've never had that conversation. He knows that it's get your degree and go get a job.
Yeah.
Got it.
His-
Okay. I love that.
If he's lucky, it'll come in the form of basketball.
Right.
Right? But if he's lucky, it still comes in the form of a good job. So it's a win.
either
It's a
way.
win-win.
So either way, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Got
yeah.
it.
So
I love that. Okay. So, Mali, what's your advice for the young ballers coming up, especially in New York City? What's your advice to them if they want to be just like Maliz World?
First thing I would say is responsibility and accountability. If you don't go to the gym and wake yourself up, then that's on you. It's not your parents' fault that you didn't go to the gym. It's gonna be on you. And second one, just keep pushing through the ups and downs. The end result is gonna be good if you're working. It's always gonna be good.
Okay. I love it. And what advice would you offer either young ballers and or parents of young ballers that are on this journey in New York City?
for the young ballers, just keep working. You're gonna be based on how hard you work, right? Not how good you are. The best third grader is not going to necessarily be the best ninth grader, right? And so
Right.
you just keep working.
Exactly.
And with parents, I'm like, don't never let somebody tell you that your kid in third grade shouldn't play basketball no more. Like, you gotta.
Right.
That just means he has to keep working and working. So it's not who's the best in the third. It's like who's best ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. So you just gotta
Right.
keep working. So
It's a journey.
never get
Yeah.
discouraged.
Another thing I would say is don't look at other people like on their path. You gotta stay in your lane.
Right.
Just
Focus on
do-
yourself.
Yeah, just do what you do, and everything gonna be good. Don't worry about if you're not ranked 9th grade, 8th grade. 8th grade don't even matter.
Right.
9th grade, just high school, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
How did you feel about rankings? That's one thing I wanted to ask you, and we haven't gotten to yet. But how does that affect your game? Does that get in your head at all? Like, did it matter to you if you weren't ranked, if you were ranked, where you're ranked? Does it matter?
Any kid would definitely want to be ranked. That's
Right.
Anybody want to be. You're not gonna
Right.
say you don't want to be if you play basketball. But it didn't get in my head. I feel like it motivated me.
Okay.
In a good way. Oh, I'm not ranked. Oh, they don't believe. So that just made me want to go. And if they ranked me, like top 130th, and I feel like I'm better than that. So that's what again pushed me to do better.
Okay.
He would have cracked, not being cocky or anything. if there would have been an EYBL season, he would have cracked that top 100. I think a lot of people know that, and especially playing with the PSA Cardinals, because Coach Munch, he's gonna make sure. And I tell you, there's nothing wrong with rankings when it counts, right?
Okay, right.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with rankings. If you want to rank a kid in the 3rd grade, if it helps with his confidence and it motivates him to keep working, good. But if he's ranked because his father owns the website to it, it's not gonna help him.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So you got to be aware of, once he realized, worry about the people who really know basketball watching you. Right.
Yeah.
Like, rest in peace, Tom Kachowski.
Yes.
Somebody that had a conversation with him one day told me, he said about Malachi's going to make a college coach real happy one day. That was enough for me. Like I'm saying, but there's nothing wrong with that being your goal. So I told Malachi, I think, don't sell yourself short. If there was an EYBL session this year, you would have made the top 100, right?
Yeah.
So I told him, 3 years ago, you weren't even, Malachi's ranked 3rd in the state. 3 years ago, you weren't even ranked top 3 in your own borough.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
the work will show.
Yeah, the work will show. And when it's your time, they're going to have to give it to you. And that's the most thing I'm proud of as a dad, and my wife as a mom. Anything you've accomplished, they had to give it to you.
Yeah.
They had to. Like, first team All-City, they had to give you that. Number 3 in the state, they had to give you that.
Yeah.
Mommy and Daddy didn't talk to anybody. Coach Lopez, Munchin, nobody talked to nobody.
Right.
It was your performance and, your hard work that got it to you. So that's the best way to get it. Like, when they have to. Like,
yeah.
I know there's people calling going, yo, my kid's better. He should be number 3 and this and this.
I just don't get. Yeah, I don't get caught up in any of that. I'm old school when it comes to that stuff. I mean, we've had some conversations offline.
Yeah.
I'm super old school. I don't really care about those rankings, and I know some people live by them. But honestly, I care about what you do in the court when you step out there.
Absolutely.
And more importantly, I think now more than ever, and CWill has spoken to this, a lot of people that we've talked to. Coach Q from Kansas has been on the show. He's talked about this. It's not even just about what you do in the court anymore. It's the type of person you are. It's what you bring to the team. Are you a leader? Are you, how do you handle losses? How are you going to get back up after you fall? So there's so much more involved in being a player these days than just a number.
But we hold, one thing I try to explain to parents, we hold the kids accountable, right? But I tell people, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a scout on the EYBL session, or you're just a scout in New York City or anywhere, how do you feel as a scout seeing RJ go from unranked to a McDonald's All-American? Somebody wasn't doing their job.
Right. And
right?
that's kind of my point too.
Unranked McDonald's All-American. Like, I could see if you was like, yo, he went from 50th to McDonald's.
Yeah.
He went from so somebody wasn't doing their job.
You know what? And then, but that, Mally said, that could motivate you.
No,
number one.
absolutely.
And number two,
I call RJ the blueprint, because I'm like, yo, you now give these kids a sense of confidence to say, it's okay, I'm not ranked, but I got a chance, and I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
And I've had that conversation with and I gave him the nickname, the blueprint. I said, because that's probably what would have happened to Mally. Mally, he went from unranked to now he's ranked 130th in the top 150.
Right.
But like I said, if there was an EYBL session, he would have cracked that top 100.
Yeah.
So you can't. Somebody wasn't. They had to give it to RJ. That's what I mean.
Right.
They had to give it to him.
No, I get it. But look, even with him not cracking the top 100, he's going to play at Dayton.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
We don't have nothing to worry about.
15,000 every night.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. So we don't even care about the numbers. Okay, so a couple things to wrap up. We do something at the Ballers Journal when we do interviews called In the Bonus, and I thought it'd be fun to do with you because you are our first high school basketball player that we've ever had on the show. So that's super exciting, and I'm really glad it's you to be our first one. So I'm gonna ask you just a couple quick fire questions. They're really easy. It's just about your preferences. So answer them, and then we'll wrap up. So, okay, first question, sneakers or shoes?
Sneakers.
What's your favorite sneaker?
Kobe's.
Kobe's?
Comfortable sneaker. Most comfortable sneaker playing.
Okay, nice. And then we already know your favorite NBA player, LeBron,
Yeah,
yes?
LeBron.
Okay, and we like Kemba. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite street ball player?
Jamal Crawford, does that count as a street ball player?
Nah.
No.
Bone Collector. Bone
Okay,
Collector.
that
Yeah,
counts.
yeah,
That
he's
counts.
good,
That
he's
counts.
good.
What's your favorite park to play in New York City?
Dyckman.
Yes. Okay. Who's the GOAT?
LeBron.
LeBron is the GOAT.
LeBron is the goal.
Yeah, you're young. No, I'm kidding. That's okay. We get a lot of those answers. What's playing in your headphones right now?
Lil Baby. Any Lil Baby song.
Any.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. Okay. So 100 points, 30 assists, average 50 or average a triple double?
Average triple double.
Okay. What's your favorite defensive set?
Man to man.
What's your favorite dribble move?
Crossover.
Who's the toughest opponent that you've ever played?
Jalen Suggs.
Okay. Dunk, assist, 3-point. Which one?
Assist.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Celebrate or play it normal?
Celebrate.
And trash talk along the way.
Yeah.
Favorite college team? Dayton.
Dayton. Gotta go with Dayton. Got to.
If you weren't playing for Dayton, do you have another team that you like, that you enjoy growing up watching?
Nah, not really. I didn't really have a favorite team. I just like watching college basketball.
Okay. If you weren't going to college and it was an option for you to go to the NBA first, you had a choice. What would you do?
I would go to college.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because like we talked about before, you need that degree, you need that job.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your favorite NBA team?
Lakers.
Lakers.
Yeah.
And you're not a Kobe fan.
Only because LeBron. Wherever LeBron go.
Oh,
That's
so you got to say that too. You can't just say you're a Lakers fan. Okay. Run and gun, defensive team or half court team?
Run and gun.
Favorite video game?
Grand Theft Auto.
Do you play 2K?
Yeah, I do.
What's your player rating?
99.
Okay. If the whole quarantine virus ended today, what would you do first?
I don't even know. Go to the gym. I don't even know.
Well, you go to the gym now, but
Yeah,
it would just be better, right?
Yeah. I don't even have the season started already. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any news on that? Do you guys know when you're going to play yet?
Nah, we don't know yet. They didn't tell us nothing.
The health, it's all on the health department.
Yeah, we're waiting for that announcement,
I think the positive in it is Cuomo announced NBA
Right.
arenas can
Yeah,
have
the fans,
So
right.
that puts pressure on
I think
him
the Knicks
now.
said like 2,000 fans every
so
game.
that puts pressure on him. Like, okay, we don't need fans. We just need a season.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
come
Well,
on,
we don't
man.
even let the kids play. They need this for their education,
Nah,
like everything.
absolutely.
What's your favorite restaurant or food to eat in New York?
Chick-fil-A or Red Lobster.
Chick-fil-A and Red Lobster. Okay, do you have a local one, like a New York City mom and pop shop? It could be your mom. Do you like your mom's cooking or no?
Nah, yeah, my mom's cooking. Yeah.
Okay. If you could change one thing about the United States, what would it be?
I don't even know. No taxes. I don't know.
No taxes?
This guy acts talking like he got a job.
I don't
Said
know.
no taxes.
Who's the best point guard in the NBA?
Steph Curry.
Steph?
Yeah.
Or Seth?
Steph.
Okay,
Steph.
although Seth is on fire right now.
He's good though.
It's crazy. He's about to break a big record possibly. What are you binge watching right now?
Nothing right now. I don't even watch nothing. Yeah, nothing right now.
CWill told me that you started to watch like some basketball stuff. Like he would mention some things to you and you would watch it on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
That helped in developing your game or your love of it, correct?
Yeah, we used to watch some workout videos like Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
And we would just break off stuff from that video,
Uh-huh.
and we would just do that in our workouts.
Yeah?
Yeah, so that was good.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, he's always sending me stuff too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Any final pieces of advice, anything, any shout outs you want to give, anything you want to put out there?
Just have fun with it, man.
Yeah.
That's the best thing to do. Like the one thing me and my wife, our whole family can say is we've had fun with it. Like we've been the reason why it wasn't a big deal for us to visit so many campuses. We've been to Memphis, we've been to Cincinnati, we've been to Kentucky, we've been to Orlando,
Yeah, we've been everywhere.
we've been to St. Louis, we've been to Chicago, and it was just great experiences to try. Yeah, Kansas City, like the experience of traveling, and then your family following you around, and it's like I said, have fun with it. It's fun, because you have to have fun, because the next thing you know, I've seen people be miserable with it, and then the next thing you know, it's over.
Yeah.
And they're like, what happened? I'm like, yeah, you didn't have fun with it, man. Like, gotta have fun.
It's true. I agree. You agree, Mally?
Yeah, definitely.
You got to find the
It's
fun
a
in
sport.
it.
You gotta have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard work, but you got to find the fun, right?
And
celebrate along the way.
There's been days I have had to sleep in the living room because I'm screaming at him. And the mother like, don't yell at my baby. And so, yeah, everybody leave us alone. But
Right.
it's part of the process.
Well, I want to thank you both so much for being here. I think this was awesome, incredibly
Thanks for having
insightful.
us.
I think we learned a lot. I hope that everyone listening has, and if anybody has any questions, feel free to DM and, we can have Mally answer them. But we always end every show with a quote. And, I love inspirational things and I get into my mantras and affirmations like I mentioned before, but this quote just stuck out to me today. And it's Mike Singletary said, "Do you know what my favorite part of the game is? The opportunity to play." And I feel like that is so relevant now more than ever in this age of COVID, just being able to play the game that you love. And just like you said, finding fun and joy and all of it.
Yeah.
So I know all of us are going to find so much joy and fun watching you play at Dayton, Mally. I cannot wait for that day. We will be watching and I'm sure shouting you out all over IG with that big check you got. And much success and love to you. And I can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So thank you so much for being here, guys.
you.
And we'll watch your journey.
That's it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.